It's the Orioles on Masson on a hot and muggy 4th of July in the city of brotherly love. It's the Orioles and the Phillies today, the conclusion of this two-game interleague series. And hi, everyone, I'm Jim Hunter. Thanks so much for spending part of your 4th of July holiday with us. We hope you're having a great time with your family as the Orioles and Phillies conclude this series, with the Orioles looking for a win to get a two-game series split. Now, last night it was a familiar storyline, a very frustrating loss. The Orioles got an outstanding start from Alex Cobb, but just couldn't get that big base hit, and the Phillies held on and won the opener by the final of 3-2. And if you look at what the Orioles starters have done this year, surprisingly, they have kept the team in more games than you might think. In fact, when you look at the winning percentages of quality starts on the year, the Orioles have already had 40 quality starts on the year, yet because of the lack of hitting, they are just 17-23 in those quality starts. That is a .425 winning percentage. Only the Mets have a lower winning percentage in quality starts. And if you dig a little bit deeper and see quality starts and the total in baseball, the Orioles have the 7th most with 40. But pay attention to that list. The first three teams on that list, the Astros, Indians, and Red Sox, they are all division leaders. The Nationals, the Mariners, and the Phillies, they are all contending teams. So the Orioles are right there with them with the quality starts. And Mike Bordick, unfortunately, the storyline remains, even when the pitchers give them a chance, the hitters have not held up their end.
Right, and under Buck Showalter and Dan Duquette, that hasn't been the storyline at all. It's always been what's going on with the rotation. How come they're not able to pitch well enough? The Oriole offense has been supporting them all season long. Well, tables have turned, obviously, and the Oriole offense is just kind of sputtering along right now. There are a couple reasons why. Lack of left-handed hitter production, I think, is a big reason. And obviously the untimely slumps of Jonathan Scope and Trey Mancini certainly did not help much either. But the fact that the Orioles pitching has been so consistent in that regard with the quality start aspect, I think it gives them something to look forward to. I mean, Alex Cobb, historically a better second-half pitcher. Kevin Gausman, a better second-half pitcher. So you expect these numbers to be on the rise and at least give their team an opportunity to win more ball games. And with Bundy, Gausman, Cashner, and now Cobb guaranteed to be here for the next few years, I mean, that's encouraging news as well.
And as things have gone for the Orioles this year, it was Maikel Franco who robbed Chris Davis of what would have been a base hit that would have tied the game. That's how things are going.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely some tough luck. There has to be some luck on your side. And unfortunately, too, the Orioles played some pretty good baseball in their last homestand, but the bullpen has some inconsistencies. And when you lose Darren O'Day, you lose Richard Blyer, a couple of the most consistent arms out there, you're going to have some troubles. Now it's a matter of finding the roles for the bullpen pieces, and hopefully the offense gets a little more consistency.
So today on the 4th of July, the birth of our country, it's Orioles baseball in Philadelphia. The Orioles and Phillies, we're coming back. Yep, we have a lot of tailgaters here. It's holiday baseball on Masson. you by Southwest. Low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Well, we are at Citizens Bank Park, and a lot of folks are going to enjoy a lot of food. How about some ribs on this 4th of July? Or maybe you might want a Philly cheesesteak. Here's our game time temperature brought to you by BGE Home. We know more, we do more. 94 degrees. The humidity actually dropped about 30% from last night, but it's still very muggy at 47%. Just a slight breeze out of the southeast, partly cloudy, partly sunny, depending on your perspective. So the Orioles on this 4th of July holiday, Mike, they need a win. They're trying to split a series before going to Minnesota. And for the Phillies, all these games are so important because they're in contention, but they're still looking up at the Braves.
No, you're right there. And the fact that the Nationals kind of fading right now, I think the Phillies looking to really make a move. And, of course, there's a lot of talk with the Phillies as the trade deadline approaches, targeting some other players. And, of course, Manny Machado is of interest to the Phillies. Crawford, their shortstop, down, so they're looking for some offensive help as well, because the Phillies offense kind of one of the lower ones in the National League. They're looking for some offensive help. Yeah, so the Phillies, a team that's on the move right now.
Now the Orioles today, Mike, playing their 85th game, and let's get a look at the challenges at the plate. And here's why the Orioles have had so much trouble winning games, because they're having difficulty scoring runs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you take a look at the rankings in the American League, last in average, last in hits. I mean, pretty much all the way down. It's just been an offense that has had a hard time getting going. And when you have a couple of your big boppers that have been scuffling all season long, and Chris Davis, how about Jonathan Scope? The fact that he was the Orioles MVP last year and he's hitting under 200. I mean, it's been tough. And the fact that they're only scoring, the low amount of runs. Look at the bottom there, 36 games, scoring 2 runs or less. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, this is a powerhouse offense that just capitalizes on the big innings, and they've just haven't had enough of those big innings this season.
And in those games, those 36 games, the Orioles are 3-33. So they only have 3 wins all year, scoring 2 runs or less. In fact, 4 runs or less, they're 7-50. So even when they score 4 runs, it's not a guarantee they're in a game.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised through the first half of the season. The Buck really hasn't tried to inject some life into the offense via the hit and run, or maybe some delay steals, just something. I know it's more of a station-to-station offense, but there is a little bit of speed in there, and you don't need a lot to actually get out there into scoring position. Manny Machado, a nice job last night's ball game with his base running, just keeping his head up. As you watch him put the eye black on in the reflection of Bobby Dickerson's sunglasses.
Bobby D is all-inclusive as the infield coach. Let's get a look at the Orioles lineup presented by Southwest. Low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Tim Beckham again in the leadoff spot, and his bat's starting to come around as that timing comes back following his surgery. A 6-game hitting streak, .348 average during the streak with a couple of RBIs. Jones, Machado, and Trumbo with Davis at first base. Then Scope, Mancini, Cisco, and Jeffrey Ramirez, the pitcher, batting ninth.
And a couple of the Oriole hitters starting to swing the bat pretty well. Tim Beckham, I think that's a huge sign right there, that 6-game hitting streak. As you take a look at Jeffrey Ramirez, up and down a little bit with the Orioles now, but he could settle in depending on how this start goes this afternoon. Boy, did he have a gem in his last outing, 5 strong innings against Seattle.
And it is becoming more and more of a season of opportunities. So for young men like Jeffrey Ramirez, today is the day for him. And here is the tough task for the Orioles today. Aaron Nola, who is having some heck of a year.
Well, he sure is one of the best in the game right now. 10-2 record with a .248 earned run average. Take a look at his pitch arsenal. He's got all 4 pitches, but the curveball, his bread and butter secondary pitch. Well, he throws it at any time. It's got nice shape. He throws it hard. He's able to manipulate the bend as well, and it's a 3/4 arm slot. So some of the righties are going to see jelly legging today. .248 earned run average. Most of his numbers in the top 10 or top 5 in the National League. Opponents hitting just the .205, and he's been stingy with the home runs, just the 6 home runs, but a high ground ball rate. So he's always got the 2-seamer in his back pocket. He'll play a little changeup off the 2-seamer. So if he needs an out on the ground or needs to pitch the contact, he can do it. He's one of the smartest pitchers in the game right now and has the ability to just change his patterns throughout the ball game.
Let's get a look at our Maryland Live Casino numbers inside the numbers. And how about these splits? And if you're the Orioles, don't look at those home numbers because you might be intimidated.
Right. I mean, pretty impressive stuff right there. Obviously, 7 wins is impressive enough, but a 1-7-7 earned run average telling me he does not need a lot of run support, although he does get a favorable amount here at his home ballpark. I mean, he just gets on a roll, and it's been a nice roll over his last 19 starts. Actually 15-3 with a 1.98 over his last 19 home starts. So he just loves pitching here at Citizens Bank Park.
And he has a string going dating back to last season, 12 consecutive quality starts here in his home ballpark at Citizens Bank Park. And a lot of Oriole fans on hand today, as they were last night. Unfortunately, last night we had the rain delay before the start of an hour 25 minutes, and then most of the game was played through a light rain, but we did play to conclusion, and the Phillies did hold on and win that game by a final of 3-2. Phillies look forward to a day off tomorrow. Then they head out on a road trip leading up to the All-Star break. They go to Pittsburgh, they go to New York, they go to Baltimore, and then they go to Miami. So here's Tim Beckham. We showed you the 6-game hitting streak. So with that streak, he has the batting average up above 200. And there's a strike at the knees, and we are underway.
Tim Beckham, you see his leadoff numbers right there. Pretty impressive stuff. Buck has slid him back up there a few times now. And it's up to him really to kind of set the tone as far as seeing pitches, showing the people behind him what Nola has. Getting ahead right quick.
Aaron Nola, 25 years old. He is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He went to high school at Catholic High School in Baton Rouge. And then for college, he went to LSU in Baton Rouge. Well, he is a raging Cajun. There's a bouncer to second base to his left, Hernandez. And a 3-pitch out, one away here in the first.
Take a look at the Phillies defense behind Nola this afternoon. Hoskins, Herrera, and Williams join the outfield here at Citizens Bank Park. Kingery and Hernandez turning two up the middle with Franco and Santana on the corners. Alfaro get the start this afternoon behind the plate.
It was Franco at third, who made the play last night, robbing Chris Davis. It would have been a base hit. It would have driven in the tying run. Instead, it was the final out of the inning. And from his knees, he got it across to Santana, who somehow kept his foot on the bag. Adam Jones now. And there's a strike.
Looks like it's all about establishing that fastball right now. Everything on that outside corner with a little two-seamer.
Adam at 284. He has hits in 5 of his last 6 games. It's interesting they're shifting on him, even though he does like to hit the ball to right field. But now that he's down in the count 0-2, Hernandez goes back on the second base side.
Yeah, some pretty interesting shifts the Phillies have been playing here, and we've been showing some of the sabermetric stats with the Pies on the field, and at times they overshift.
Let's get a look at StatCast, powered by AWS, and there are the percentages that Adam hits the ball in the infield.
Yeah, there you go. And this is over 100 samples here, so played pretty well right there. All the Pies filled up. Of course, Santana responsible pretty much all that right side.
And then right at the shortstop, Kingery plays the hop, throws out Jones, and 2 down. So back-to-back ground balls to begin the game for Aaron Nola. Kingery, a rookie. And here is Manny Machado. Let's listen for the ovation. It was a little bigger last night, but we had a bigger crowd last night. But I think the Philly fans are buying into what you were talking about. They want him here.
Oh, absolutely. Well, there are a lot of teams right now that are interested in Manny Machado, one of the best offensive potential pickups out there. I know so many teams are hungry for this extra boost to the offense.
So Aaron Nola getting ahead, strike 1 to all 3 hitters. Nola was a 22nd round draft pick of the Blue Jays out of high school in 2011. He said, "Thank you very much, but I'm going to go to LSU." And 3 years later, he was the Phillies' first-round pick in 2014 and the number 7 overall. Just off the plate. And he had a modest first 2 years in the big leagues, as Manny got that call there. 6-2 in 2015, 6-9 in 2016. But last year he won 12 games, and he's already 10-2 this year. A little bit low. And he's almost a certainty to be in Washington for the All-Star game.
Oh, absolutely. Man, what a roll he's on right now. The confidence soaring, command of all of his pitches. Well, that's that right there. First Phillies pitcher with the 10 wins. It's the All-Star break in quite a while.
There's a strike. Manny thought he had ball 4.
Nola working that outside corner, trying to figure out how much he's going to get on the outer edge. And if that umpire can read that two-seam fastball he's bringing back. His favorite put-away pitches is actually that comeback two-seamer to the righties. He'll also start it right at the lefties and bring it back on the inside corner.
They are giving Machado the left center gap. Breaking ball is low, ball 4. So Manny really seeing the ball well. He took some close pitches and got the calls. And a 2-out base runner for the O's.
Well, he sure did, and then you got to believe that Manny's going to be pitched like that from here on out. Hottest Oriole hitter, most productive Oriole hitter, and especially if there's nobody on, let's try to find a way to pitch around him.
And Mark Trumbo, who is scorching hot, just like the weather. And he has always enjoyed playing baseball on the 4th of July. He is a .476 career batter on the 4th of July holiday. And over the past 2 weeks, Mike, he's been on a tear.
He sure has. Some serious damage. Let's take a quick look at him right here. About a .315 batting average with 8 homers and 15 RBI in his last 15 games. So Trumbo's starting to lock in, and he's squaring them up with some authority right now. They are jumping off his bat and going a long way. Last night, a 450-foot shot to left center field.
You know, what's been impressive with the streak he's on with the long balls is he really hasn't altered his swing or approach. He's still taking his singles. He's still hitting his line drives, and then he gets the occasional pitch that he could do something with, and he hits an out. So he's not over swinging at all, and as a result, he's making real good contact.
Yeah, absolutely. There are times when I think, you know, most hitters, obviously, they try to do too much, and in doing that, they just try to hit it too soon, like right out of the pitcher's hand, instead of letting the ball travel. It'll just help you to discipline your strike zone a little bit more, and that's where Trumbo is right now. Not as many wild swings, just seeing the baseball first and then reacting to it.
So Trumbo got the call there, 1-2. Nola is facing the Orioles for the first time in his career. Manny runs, pitch is taken low, throw to second is high, and Machado has the bag. So Manny stole a base last night, steals another one today. He now has 7.
There you go. Nice job by Machado. And get him off and running. Some good base running in last night's ball game. And pretty much a straight steal. Manny not even looking back in that situation. Got to be careful right there. 2 strikes on Mark Trumbo. He's looking to protect the strike zone.
And as you saw, that was a good pitch to run on. Alfaro had to go down to get it. The base hit here could give the Orioles the lead. From 0-2 to 2-2 on Trumbo. Chop to third. Franco has it. Long throw gets the hustling Trumbo, and that'll do it. So a 2-out walk and a man left. We head to the bottom of the first. O's nothing, and the Phils come to bat. July. My son Jeff there with his wife Kayla. They live in Philadelphia, so I got to have dinner with them the other night, and now they're enjoying Orioles baseball, so they're rooting for their hometown team here in Philly.
I love it.
Here's the Phillies lineup: Hernandez, Hoskins, and Herrera with Santana in the cleanup spot. Williams, Kingery, Alfaro. Franco is at third, and Nola, the pitcher, bats ninth. Alfaro, 5-game hitting streak. He did not get in the game last night.
And let's take a look at Jeffrey Ramirez. His pitch arsenal this season: 4-seam fastball, change slider, and cutter, but the changeup really his bread and butter pitch. My goodness, great arm cell, playing it off a good fastball, and the velocity almost perfect as far as 8 to 10 miles an hour off that heater, and that is his go-to pitch. He'll throw it anytime in the count. Good numbers in his opportunities here with the Orioles, and good numbers obviously in the minor leagues as well.
So he gets ahead of Cesar Hernandez, 0-1. Hernandez has done a good job for Gabe Kapler in this leadoff spot. He is third in the league in runs scored. So his job, get on base and let the other guys drive you in. Manny's going to call off Mancini. Mancini says, nope, I got it. And he does, in a quick out.
And take a look at the O's defense. Mancini, Jones, and Trumbo in the O's outfield. Machado and Scope once again up the middle. Beckham and Davis on the corners, and Chance Cisco behind the plate. O's been flashing the leather. How about Mark Trumbo out in right field? He'll come into your picture here in a second. Oh yeah, flying into the picture. Trumbo was flashing the leather. Beautiful over-the-shoulder play right there on a dead sprint. And how about this one? Another good one, filling up the gap right there. Trumbo getting it done. Mark Trumbo going to be asking for more playing time. Swings a little bit better when he's playing defense.
First ball swinging is Hoskins and pops it up. Cisco locates it, and he's got it. He threw the mask, and the mask hit the umpire's feet. Jerry Davis.
Yeah, and then he almost tripped over the mask. Man, oh man. It's one of those foul balls, say, right up the elevator shaft, right on home plate. It was a tough chance for a catcher.
I think he thought the mask was farther away because he threw it, but it hit Jerry Davis on the ankle, and it just fell flat.
I wonder, is Jerry Davis going to get in his ear and say, you better be careful, kid. You want to get some calls, throwing that mask off my leg.
Jerry Davis is the crew chief. Here's Herrera. Ball one outside. Now, Jeffrey Ramirez, what's interesting about him, Mike, as you see, he does have a good fastball. He's a low 90s getting started here, but he can get to the mid 90s. But we're told his favorite pitch is his changeup, and he uses it quite a bit.
Oh yeah, all the time, and it's such a good pitch. And you know, Buck Showalter kind of alluded to Ramirez's stuff, saying that you know, big league hitters, they want to hit. It's tough for them to be patient. They are in swing mode, and that changeup can really expose some hitters. There's a good look at the change right there. Nice fade action down and away.
24 years old, from the Dominican Republic. Roger McDowell looking on. This was a real good pickup last year by Dan Duquette, adding some quality depth in the organization. I mean, you think about his year last year. He began the year at Trenton in the Yankees organization at AA, and he won 10 games there. He was 10-3, and then the Orioles acquired him, and he went 5-0 for Bowie. So he wins 15 games and leads the Eastern League in wins, and the Yankees let him go. So Dan Duquette picked him up, and here he is in the big leagues.
Well, a good pickup, and obviously he's got the right attitude as far as that winning mentality. Seems like wherever he goes, he has success. And this, quietly, is probably a huge opportunity for Ramirez.
This ball slicing away from Mancini, a long run. And Trey gets there, and he makes the catch. That was a tough, tough chance. So a 3-out, 3-down inning for Rodriguez. No scores. We head to the second. Day, USAA honors those who have served and all of our service members at home and abroad. And the Phillies organization did an outstanding job prior to the game today, honoring the military, going all the way back to World War II. They had representatives from World War II, then Korea, then Vietnam, modern day from the Gulf War, Afghanistan, Iraq. All of the branches were represented, and it was a very, very moving ceremony and nicely done on the 4th of July.
Boy, it sure was so emotional. And to see some of those World War II vets come on, boy, did they get a round of applause. My goodness.
So we go to the second. Here's Chris Davis to lead off. Ramirez with a 3-up, 3-down bottom of the first. Nola allowed a 2-out walk, but no runs in the Orioles first. Davis rips a base hit to center field. So he jumps on the first pitch, and he is out on the leadoff single.
There you go. A couple pretty good swings from Davis in last night's ball game. Nothing to really show for it, though. It was a good swing as well. Reaching out there, catching him on the outside corner and taking him right back through the box.
So Jonathan Scope comes up now, and one of these games he's going to break out of it. He's too good of a hitter for this to continue, although we said that a while ago and it has continued.
Yeah, well, it's just a mental hurdle really right now. And, Jonathan Scope's just got to kind of find a way to pull himself back away from just overanalyzing his swing. There are so many times hitters, when they get into some struggles, they think it's the mechanics of the swing, and there might be subtle changes you can do to maybe help you see the ball a little bit better or be more direct to the baseball. And some of the simple ones are obviously choking up, maybe opening up your stance.
Cued back to Nola, only play is at first, so it acts as a sacrifice, and Davis to second with one man down. Well, the Birds are back home on Monday. They'll have a 3-day, 4-game series against the Yankees. Now, Monday, don't forget, is a single admission doubleheader. First pitch at 4:05 p.m. Then on Tuesday, fans are invited to paint in the park by purchasing a special ticket package, which will include a 2-hour pregame painting session plus a ticket to the game. So come on out and join us. Yankees in town beginning Monday. Orioles.com for your tickets. RBI chance for Mancini. Breaking ball inside. Trey is 1 for his last 10 over his last 3 games, but in his last 9 games batting .313, so he's showing some signs of breaking out of it.
Yeah, he is for sure. Having some more patient at bats, not being so jumpy up there. Actually taking a few walks here recently and spraying the ball around. Those are the good signs. I know we talked about it a couple days ago, just the fact that Mancini started to use right field a little bit more consistently is a great sign. The key to most hitters' success, starting to use the whole field.
Well, he still does have more base hits to right field than center or left.
Just by that take right there, though, it just kind of tells you that Trey wants to do a little bit more damage. He's thinking more turning and burning. That's a beautiful pitch for him to just stay on it quietly, hit it about 400 feet to right center. Now, easier said than done, obviously, but we've seen Trey do that. The ability to back the ball up, to stay a little bit quieter, a little longer, and catch that slider deep.
Went too far, just picked up the pitch, just couldn't stop. Well, the Phillies, who are as into the analytics as anyone, you could see how they defend in the outfield, that they believe he's going to go to right field. Because Herrera, the center fielder, is over towards the gap, and Williams is very deep in towards the line in right field. So they're convinced that Mancini's going to put the ball in play. And here are the numbers in the infield, and you see Herrera out there in center field shading towards the gap.
Yeah, definitely stronger to the middle, which is a good sign as well for Mancini. That's where he would needs to stay.
And there is a ton of room down the left field line. They just don't believe he's going to pull it over Franco's head, so they're not even defending it. Look at all that real estate out there in left field.
Man, unbelievable shift. I don't really see the outfield shifted over that aggressively.
2-2 on Trey. Strike 3 called. So they got a fastball in there and surprised him, 2 men down.
Well, instead he pitches on that outside corner, and he starts looking over there. He's going to dive out on that outer third and try to take one away from Nola, but he's surprised, attacks him with the fastball painted on the inside corner. Locking him up. Second out.
Well, Nola will strike you out. 107 Ks in 109 innings coming in. And that is his first here today. He is tied for 6th in the National League in strikeouts. Chance Cisco, fly ball to center field. That's playable for Herrera. And he backs up and he has it. So the leadoff single and a mad left. Mid-second, O's and fills. No score. Has won $500 for being selected and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit in the game today. You can play Home Run Riches scratch-offs and win up to $50,000 or enter those non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/homerun. A lot of military here today, and the Army band was spectacular. I can't wait till the 7th inning stretch for God Bless America. You and I were fortunate. We were here so early. We heard them rehearse.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, it was very moving.
It was. It was really good.
We invite you to stay tuned for that, and we thank you for your service. Fans on this warm day. So Ramirez had not only a 3-up, 3-down inning, he did it on 9 pitches. So he is back to work here in the second. Jeffrey made his major league debut June 13th against the Red Sox, and that was a start. He went 4 1/3. Allowed 3 runs in that time, including a home run, a solo to Mookie Betts, but Mookie does that to a lot of pitchers. He was 3 and 5 for AAA Norfolk in 14 starts. There are 2 things that jump out at me, Mike, with his splits. The leadoff hitters in any inning are batting 178. And his first inning ERA in his AAA starts, and he had another 3-up, 3-down inning here, 0.64. In his starts at Norfolk this year, and he made 14 of them, he allowed 1 run in those 14 first innings. That's pretty impressive because it's consistent.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, and we talk all the time the importance of your team, the ability to make that first mark. Opposing teams want to do it, obviously, against Ramirez as well.
It's popped up. That'll be back in the crowd. Well, his numbers with the Orioles as a starter and a reliever, 1 start, 1 relief appearance, and of course the relief appearance last Thursday was brilliant.
Boy, wasn't it? I mean, he really shut down that Mariners offense, which is no slouch, and he did it very effectively and efficiently. You see the batting average there with 188, and that start he had in Boston you were talking about, that was his first, that was his major league debut. So you realize there's a lot of emotions going in there. So hopefully, as he gets more opportunities here with the Orioles, he just gets more comfortable.
Well, let's get a look at our MASNsports.com blog recap brought to you by PNC. There's no better time to act than today. PNC make today the day. Wakabako, his column today, because you asked. Back to the minors, he emptied out his mailbag. It's a very entertaining reading. And Steve Molesky on Buck Showalter's pregame comments and other notes about the trade deadline. Here's Nick Williams. Williams in a 4 for 21 drought. And he's facing Ramirez, who works from the stretch for the first time today. It's a fastball by him. So at least early on here, Cisco keeps calling for the fastball.
Yeah, really trying to establish that heater, and then of course, he has to get through this lineup 1 or 2 times. He might be able to feature that changeup a little bit more, maybe pitch backwards with it.
This is too tight. We're 2-1. Ramirez signed originally with Arizona when he was 17 years old back in 2011. There's a strike on the corner. That's a perfect pitch.
Yeah, beautiful pitch with the fastball, and now has the ability to play that changeup right off the fastball down and away.
Well, 2-2.
If you're getting that call, just a little off that outside corner.
Foul tip in and out of the glove of Cisco.
Firm fastball right there, right to the top of the zone, 93 miles an hour.
Nick Williams was drafted by Texas back in 2012, and he was one of the 5 players that came to the Phillies in the trade for Cole Hamels.
Yeah.
So another one of those deals where you get these minor leaguers and you wonder, well, who are these guys? Swing and a miss, he got him. But the team acquiring them knows them because of the scouting.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Take a look at this Ramirez fastball here, painted on that outside corner. A steady diet of pitches out there, and finally able to get him to bite on one. His movement off that outside edge. Yeah, that was a huge trade for both teams. Obviously, the Rangers picking up Cole Hamels, but there are a couple guys. Actually, 4 of their players have been in the big leagues. Maybe all 5 from that trade have been a part of this Phillies team. Of course, the catcher today was part of that trade as well.
There's Scott Kingery. There's a strike on the inside corner. Kingery at 223. He is a rookie. And they already signed him to a 6-year deal through 2023. $24 million deal, so he took the security, and that gets him all the way to free agency. So by doing that, the Phillies buy out those arbitration years that tend to get expensive.
Yeah, he sensational minor league career. He said, well, did it down there. He's got the right kind of attitude. Let's lock him up. And it seems like the Phillies, you see all these younger players and how successful they are. The Phillies' attitude is if you have talent, this is where they should be developed. They're going to learn how to play at the major league level. They got to be here and learn against the best. Another pretty good pitch here from Ramirez. And the breaking ball working away on that outside corner. Nicely done. Back-to-back Ks.
Cisco, he's been calling for back-to-back pitches when he sees weak swings. So Ramirez making some good pitches, and Chance going right back to it. 2 down on the back-to-back Ks. And here is Jorge Alfaro, one of the players Mike was talking about that came here in that 5-for-2 trade with Texas for Cole Hamels. That's foul back. Had to feel a little bit bad for Alfaro yesterday. As we were sitting here working on our scorecards before the game, the Phillies were taking batting practice and the World Cup was on. And they had it on the big Jumbotron because he's from Colombia. And Colombia was in the game against England. It was a 1-1 tie. It went to a shootout. And Colombia lost to England in the shootout. And I thought he was going to collapse out there. The poor guy, he was rooting. Every time Colombia did something well, you could hear him scream out there. That was a lot of fun to watch. Man, does he care. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Cisco's throw. The tag, he is out. What a throw and what a tag. Cisco gets his man. So Santana's gunned down, and that will end the Phillies' second. Perfect throw from Cisco to second base on an off-speed pitch. And watch this tag by Scope. And that ends the Phillies' second. No score here at Citizens Bank. Celebrating Independence Day is being brought to you by DynCorp International. We serve today for a better tomorrow. And by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces, veterans, and their families for over 80 years, federally insured by NCUA. And we air today's game on Matson in celebration of Independence Day, today celebrating our 242nd birthday. We recognize and honor all of those who serve in the 5 branches of the U.S. military. Adoption of the Declaration of Independence was agreed to right here in this city. And apparently it was agreed to on July the 2nd, but they couldn't get the word out. Took them 2 days to get everybody together. And here's Ramirez, first ball swinging. Fly ball to center field. And they finally got together, and representatives from the 13 then colonies of the British Empire signed it and declared that we are now our own country, the United States of America. And there were 2 future U.S. presidents to sign that document. Thomas Jefferson, well, he wrote it. He deserved to sign it. And John Adams.
Good stuff. Some great history, right?
And kind of ironically, 50 years later to the day, on July the 4th, 1826, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams both passed away within an hour of each other. How about that? So all that history right here in Philadelphia with that Continental Congress. Here's Tim Beckham, and he'll take a pitch so Jeffrey can get a breather on the bench. Tim bounced out his first at bat. Orioles 0-1 on the trip. After today, they head to Minnesota in a 4-game series with the Twins beginning tomorrow night at Target Field. And the 0-1 is a breaking ball low. And for any of the Orioles who are staying in Baltimore for the All-Star break, finishing at home is really nice. The Orioles will get home late Sunday night, but then they have the doubleheader Monday with the Yankees, then 2 more games, then a makeup with the Phillies, and then Texas comes into 3. But then when the All-Star break hits, they're here or in Baltimore. Now, many will travel to their homes and then rejoin the team in Toronto after the All-Star break. But I don't know, I guess there's two ways to look at it. If you finish on the road, you tend to open at home. You get that extra day off on Thursday. But if you finish at home, you're already home.
Right. Yeah, which is nice. Nice to sleep in your own bed.
Inside ball 3.
Showing some good patience. A lot of good takes on the Nola breaking ball right now. He hasn't locked in with that pitch. I think hoping that there'd be some swing and misses, or at least some swings that come just working off the plate, get some weak contact, but some really solid takes.
And there's a ball 4, so a 1-out walk. Second walk allowed by Aaron Nola. Well, as you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the Hold True moment later in today's game. And this crowd settling in here. Phillies very popular in this new ballpark, and of course they're a contending team, so their fans are behind them.
Buck Showalter put Manny Machado in motion. Will Tim Beckham keep going as well?
Well, the one thing about analyzing opposing players' splits is there something that you clearly can exploit? And with Aaron Nola, that is the running game. With Manny Steele, he has allowed 16 stolen bases, and when he's on the mound, they've caught just 4. So 16 out of 20 have made it. And he's thinking along the lines you are, Mike, that Beckham might go, so he's trying to hold him close.
Yeah. Well, you got to get him now. You get opportunities to get guys on base. You got to stay aggressive. This young man can settle in and just start being a buzzsaw right now, not letting anybody get on base. You get those opportunities, push it a little.
Good cut and foul ball. And Kepler's first year as the Phillies skipper. A little bit of a rough start, but he has settled in. Now Beckham, as he leads from first, he has only 1 stolen base on the year, and that was April the 3rd in Houston. He missed 53 games following his core surgery. Close play there at first.
Held it just a hair longer that time. Seeing if Beckham was going to flinch.
There's a real quick tag there by Carlos Santana, former catcher.
See how Beckham gets to that back corner of the base. Certainly try to stay as far away from the baseball as possible when diving back.
Towards the gap in left center field. Nobody's going to get that one. That is going to split the gap. And it's going to go all the way to the wall to the 387 side. Beckham is going to score easily. And the Orioles grab a 1-0 lead on the RBI double by Adam Jones. So the defense that time hurt the Phils as Adam found the gap.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there by Adam Jones. Nola coming in there twice. One time with a 4-seam fastball and then a little 2-seamer trying to induce the double play. But Adam Jones gets to it the right way. My goodness, catches it out in front, smokes it in the left center field gap. Beckham talked about that speed, not stealing, but able to score all the way from first base and get the Orioles on the board.
So the walk hurts Nola as Adam Jones drives him in. For Adam is 33rd RBI. Nothing to Cesar Hernandez out there, who will go in the shift against Machado. There's a ball hit towards the middle, but there's Hernandez. Had him played perfectly. And he will get Machado. Moving to third is Adam Jones, 2 down.
And that little 2-seamer, 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 2-seamer,
Very tough day to pitch because of how hot it is in the 90s. Trumbo bounced out to third his first at bat. He has homered in back-to-back games, and he has back-to-back multi-hit games. Looks at a breaking ball. There's our AT&T achieving more.
Yeah, Mark Trumbo's been achieving more. How about this season in interleague play? 294 clip with the 6 home runs and 12 RBI. And boy, all that coming really the last 2 weeks. Had a home run against Philly yesterday, had a couple against Atlanta, a couple against the Nats, one against Miami, and it was within this 2-week span.
Trumbo saying that was supposed to be a fastball, which is why I swung. Smirk. And he got him. Another breaking ball. So the O's get a run, take the lead.
Happy 4th of July. Thank you to all the United States military for protecting and defending our country. Thank you.
Increasing in the trade rumors and speculation, including here at Philadelphia, and prior to the game, he talked about it.
Do I want to play for a contending team? Yeah. Do I want to go to the playoffs? Yeah. Do I want to win a ring? Of course I do. Those are all things that every baseball player wants. So, for me to go somewhere and help out a team, obviously, I don't know if it'll be here or if it'll be somewhere else, but, I'm going to do everything in my power to, help the team out. I've been a shortstop my entire life. I played third base for a couple of years, and I did well, and I established myself as an elite player because of the position. But at the end of the day, I've been a shortstop my entire life, and I know I could be a way better player at the shortstop than I was at third.
So I guess the second answer, a subtle message to all those teams out there.
Right? He wants to play shortstop. And, of course, the couple years he was talking about was about 5 years where he's the best third baseman in the game. Platinum glove winner. I don't know. The numbers with Manny at shortstop not showing that he's an elite shortstop right now. I mean, he's only 26 years old. A lot of guys don't get their opportunities till they're 26. So, Manny obviously very skilled player and potentially can learn to become a great shortstop.
Jorge Alfaro was at bat when Santana was caught trying to steal. Well, the best scenario for the Orioles in terms of trade talk and discussion is having at least two teams that are in the same division race that want the same player, because then you get that possible bidding war. And in the NL East, where the Phillies reside, they're trying to catch the Braves. And when the Orioles were in Atlanta, the speculation in Atlanta was, hey, he'd fit real well right here.
Oh, yeah. A lot of speculation in National League West as well,
where he could be a difference maker for first place Arizona. Ooh, up and in. But again, the question is, what are the offers?
That's right. And take a look at this fastball just getting away. Up and in. A dangerous pitch right there, wanting it inside. Move some feet. You expect him to target that outside corner.
He does, and he hits a ground ball to Scope. Far flying down the line, and one away here in the Phillies' third inning. Well, fans, this season at Oriole Park, kids cheer free. That's right. You can bring your young Orioles fans ages 9 and under to Camden Yards free of charge. Every adult who purchases a regularly priced individual game ticket in the upper deck is invited to bring up to 2 children free. And while you're at the ballpark, you can check out the new and improved Kids Corner featuring the Birdhouse. For tickets, Orioles.com/kidsfree. That is a cool looking birdhouse. Oh, he's got the ice, the Italian ice on this warm summer day. Strike one to Franco, who's the number 8 batter. Franco last night scored a run, but the run he saved was even bigger. He protected the Phillies' 3-2 lead. Yeah, there would have been 2 on that.
Yeah.
Got the changeup, and he was out in front. 2 down on the fly ball to Adam Jones. So Ramirez has faced the minimum 8. The walk. Santana was caught trying to steal. So he'll try to get Aaron Nola and have a 9-batter first 3 innings.
So he's got a nice little string of shutout innings going right now.
It's the fastball by him, 0-1. Nola has 2 hits this year, and he does have an RBI. But he has struck out 17 of his 32 at-bats. Got a piece of Cisco on the mask.
Let's take a look. Right off the top of the mask.
Ramirez 118 minor league games and 94 minor league starts. A lot of experience trying to get here. And again, it really benefited him when Dan Duquette made the trade and got him into the Orioles organization, because of more opportunity here than he had with the Yankees. The Trenton team was loaded last year, and they felt they could sacrifice it. Strike 3 call right there. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Ramirez. As we go to the 4th, our Ram Do-Ups brought to you by Ram Trucks. Experience the power and toughness of Ram at your local dealer, or log on to ramtrucks.com to get to work. Guts, glory, and Ram. Davis, Scope, and Mancini when we come back. Fourth inning of Orioles baseball is brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. What a beautiful sight, the Liberty Bell. In Philadelphia on this Independence Day 2018. Happy birthday to the United States 242 years ago. Our great nation became a nation.
Yeah, I had a great field trip last fall with my son's 5th grade class. We came up here and did the Liberty Bell and Independence, all the good stuff, you know. It was a lot of fun.
You're going to have to do that this off season. When you're this close to it, you feel, well, let's go.
Right? Oh, and there is. I mean, it's unbelievable. The history. Wow. I mean, we talk about, we could kind of relate to the baseball stuff, you know, stepping into Fenway Park and thinking about the ghosts, but my goodness, when you think about the things that happened here in Philadelphia, you're talking about the Declaration of Independence. Boy, incredible
Constitution.
History. Yeah.
Founding fathers were ahead of their time. All these years later, it's still working.
Right?
And so are the Hawaiian shirts. They're everywhere. Here's Chris Davis. He ripped a single to center field on the first pitch he saw in the second inning. And Nola back to work. Ball one, the breaking ball missed. Chris just 8 for his last 43 with that base hit. And back to the same pitch, and this time it broke in there.
See Franco moving over. Trying to fill up that higher percentage right now. See him sliding over to 34%. High.
Pretty amazing that an entire side of the infield is undefended.
Yeah.
And yet Chris rarely hits ground balls that way. He'll hit line drives that way.
It's amazing, right? One defender really on the whole left side of the field.
And he's 300 feet away. Two and two. And he got it. Broke down right on the corner.
Oh, goodness, I think he threw him 5 breaking balls that AB. And drop strike 2 down and in. Davis swinging over the top. But take a look at strike 3, a little backdoor breaking ball. I don't think he wanted it there. I think he missed his spot. Ended up a pretty good pitch. Like, take a look from the top. You see the catcher setting up on that inner third, just catching that outside corner.
Nice presentation by Alfaro. Here's Jonathan. Staying with the breaking ball. 0-1. Jonathan swung at an off-speed pitch and hit a squibber back to the mound. He is now just 3 for his last 32. A piece of Jerry Davis.
He's doing his Encarnacion right there. Got the parrot up on the shoulder. It's probably a Charlie horse. Take a look. Good swing at the inside fastball. Oh,
hit his
my
arm.
goodness. Right on top of the forearm. Wow. Oh, boy, you can see the lump there already.
Already swelling up.
Yeah. Great mask, by the way.
Patriotic today. Line drive and a base hit to left field. He got a hanger and he didn't miss it. Jonathan thinking 2. The ball gets by Hoskins and Scope will reach. And there's a 1-out double for Jonathan Scope.
There you go, Nola. Boy, bunch of breaking balls here second time around, and Jonathan Scope able to finally get on one. A hanger. He reaches out, touches the length of Jonathan Scope. We talk about Machado, the ability to reach out there, find the barrel. Scope does on that breaking ball, reaching across the plate and hustling on into second base.
He's going to smile after that base hit. So here's Mancini. Ground ball towards the hole. Kingery deep in the hole. And the long throw got him. Nicely done at 2 down. So Scope has to hold at second. Here's our PNC Minor League Insights, brought to you by PNC. There's no better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day.
How about Caden Green, your 37th overall pick for the Orioles this season? He's the Brooks Wallace Award recipient. That's the best defensive shortstop in collegiate baseball. Of course, OSU hat right there. He hoisted the trophy in the College World Series. And he's going to be starting his professional career here shortly.
He posted a picture on Twitter in an office at the warehouse signing his contract.
All right.
So it is official. Ouch. So Nola hits Cisco, who has now been plunked 11 times, and that'll get Ramirez up.
Take a look. Fastball. Supposed to be the one that comes back, catches the plate, but it sticks right in the knee of Chance Cisco. Ooh, that's not a good spot.
I keep trying to find the bullseye on Cisco. I can't find it. 11 hit by pitches now for Chance. And if you're Nola, that's the last thing you want to do, because you prefer the pitcher lead off the next inning.
Yeah.
It's going to look at our PNC inside the numbers. So situational pitching, and Nola's pretty good at it.
Yeah, I'll say he really bears down. There's a reason why he's 10-2 with a 2.48 earned run average. How about the numbers with runners in scoring position, runners on, with the 2 outs? I mean, incredible. He's tough enough with the bases empty, but he really bears down when he gets runners on base.
Alex Cobb got a base hit last night. Let's see if Ramirez has one in him. Thought he was going to hit him, and it was a strike.
Ramirez actually signed with the Diamondbacks. You said he signed as a free agent with the Diamondbacks, his first team as an offensive player. Hit 169, and then the next year became a pitcher. So hopefully he's got one of those hits left in the bat.
And strike 3 call, breaking ball on the outside corner. So a double, a hit batter, and 2 left. Mid-4th. Jonathan Scope and the O's have the lead. Back here at Citizens Bank Park, we head to the bottom of the fourth. Jeffrey Ramirez through the lineup the first time with no damage, and yet another Hawaiian shirt. They're everywhere.
Just had the big giveaway, right?
Yeah.
35,000 of them.
I was impressed with those tailgaters we just saw. They mean business.
Yeah, having a good time.
They had food for a week. A nice crowd on hand on this 4th of July. Tim Beckham scored the Orioles run. He walked with one down in the third and scored on the double by Adam Jones. Chris Davis having a conversation with the umpire Brian Knight over there at first base. So Ramirez finally ready to work. And there's a strike. Second time through the order. Hernandez flied out to Mancini, his first at bat.
Yeah, I don't know that he's really going to change a lot. Not a lot of hard contact off him. Stay aggressive, keep mixing up the pitches.
Ball 2. Well, Hernandez is one of the 3 Phillies in the top 10 in the National League in drawing walks, and as you can see, he's a very patient hitter. Santana is 3rd, Hernandez is 4th, and Rhys Hoskins, who's on deck, is 10th. And the Phillies as a club, they are 2nd in the National League in drawing walks. Only Cincinnati has drawn more walks. So he has yet to swing the bat. He's seen 5 pitches. And a full count on Cesar Hernandez. Center field. Adam Jones in on it. And he's got it. Well, 1-run games, it's all about how well you play in those games, Mike, and if you're going to contend. And look at the Phillies. They are better than any other team.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff right there. And a big reason why the Phillies are in 2nd place here in the National League East. You see down at the bottom, the Orioles 5-14 in the 1-run games. 2nd lowest. Of course, they're heading to the Twins. 4-15. So they're 1-run games there.
Well, Hoskins was guessing there, got his pitch and got under it, and it was Mancini. Manny a long ways out there, but Mancini calls him off and 2 down. Jeffrey Ramirez presenting himself very well. Now, this was the day that David Hess was scheduled to start if you go on turn. And Hess is listed in the bullpen today. Showalter said yesterday it would be Hess backing up Jeffrey Ramirez, but right now Jeffrey does not need backing up.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at him, not worked up at all. He is just locked in, just rocking and firing.
Fly ball to right. Here's Trumbo. And he's got it. So a 3-up, 3-down, 8-pitch inning. Ramirez has retired the last 6 Phillies to come to bat. a lean year in there, and here are the largest increases in winning percentages from one year to the next. And Buck Showalter's 1998-99 Diamondbacks, Mike, 65 wins in the first year, 98, 100 wins in a playoff appearance the next year. So the moral of the story is, as you look at all these teams that have those wonderful turnarounds, is that if you bring in the right players and the proper players, you could turn it around quickly. Now let's get a look at the Orioles and their recent past. Remember 2011, that was the last place finish. They reversed the record and went to the American League Division Series that year. So it can happen.
It sure can. And like you mentioned, it's going to be maybe some off-season signings. It's going to be a timely trade that you get the personnel back to get you over the hump, or it's going to be the emergence of maybe a young star. And back in 2011 and 12, that was the year Manny Machado got introduced to the Orioles to help solidify the defense when they moved Reynolds over to first, Nate McLeod out to the outfield, left field. So the defense got stronger, and the Orioles ended up making it to the postseason. So many of those teams, that's it. Just their offseason moves or some trades.
Beckham wide of first, and it gets on past Santana, who is well off the bag. So Tim is on with a leadoff single, and he extends his hitting streak to 7 consecutive games. Don't forget, next weekend the Orioles host the Rangers Friday the 13th through Sunday July 15th, and in the middle game on Saturday July 14th, it is Celebrate Maryland Day. First 35,000 fans 15 and over receive an Orioles Maryland flag script replica jersey presented by Morgan State University. So for your tickets to come out and join us, just go online, Orioles.com. Beckham is on with a leadoff single. And we'll see now if he tries to steal with nobody down. Because Wayne Kirby always has the stopwatch over there. So he'll time the delivery time to the plate, and then they make a decision. What is it, if it's over 1-3?
Yeah, 1-3. Over 1-3 is good. And depending on your speed, obviously, and the catcher pop time. More times than not, base stealers really steal off the pitcher.
See, Wayne has the stopwatch in his right hand. So every pitch with a runner on at first, he's timing that delivery time to the plate.
Yeah, the good pitchers have the ability to vary their times, vary their holds, and when they deliver the ball to home plate, how they actually pick off to first base, whether they step off or just a quick snap throw, just to give different looks to the base runners. The problem is a lot of pitchers just fall into a routine, their tendency, and we saw that with Kevin Gausman at one point in the season, where teams just started running rampant on him and leaving a little bit early, right at a certain count. He was just too predictable. And Nola in this ball game, though, starting to really mix it up a little bit. We talked about it that last inning, just holding a little bit longer. You know, the Orioles want to get some guys in motion.
The bluff going, and that is a foul ball down the line, just wide of the bag.
It's a good try right there by Adam Jones. Nice battling. A little two-seamer coming back on the outside corner, reaching out. You got to protect the outer edge, and he's going to try to hit it with the breaking ball. Come back fastball.
Got him protecting that outside corner. Nola has not lost, by the way, in his last 7 starts. He hasn't lost a game since May the 20th. Of course, he only has 2 losses on the year, so.
The Orioles making them work pretty good right now. Some good ABs. Of course, with no outs, a little more pressure right now. Beckham at first base.
The threat of speed will slow down the game as the pitcher pays attention to him. foul, so Adam is having a real stubborn at bat here.
That pitch he just fouled off was the same pitch he whistled into that left center field gap. Nola trying to sneak one in there again under the hands. A couple pitches on the outside corner. I like the Orioles hats, by the way.
You can bid on it.
It's a good looking hat.
Down holding 0-2. That's a real good take. Wow. That's one of those sliders that looks good till it isn't.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you like how Adam really tracked it in there. Yeah, followed it the whole way.
Another throw to first.
Got a little cat and mouse going all over the place. And Nola trying to keep Beckham in check over there at first base. And Adam Jones just took a little walk there. Hey, you gonna focus on me right now or not?
And another foul ball. Four foul balls, and Adam about to see a seventh pitch. And for Nola, all this is doing is increasing the pitch count. Got ahead 0-2, and he's still 0-2. Now 1-2, and the slider that Adam laid off. I'll tell you what, Santana is a pretty good tagger, Mike. He slaps that down there very quickly.
Yeah. Trying to get Beckham. Beckham, that perfect lead, stepping a dive back. Back just in time again.
And he got him. So he stayed with the breaking ball, and Adams swings through it. So Aaron Nola wins that battle and one away.
That was a nice fight right till the very end, and maybe his best breaking ball. This one staying on the plate just a little bit longer, looking like the strike. Right when Adam Jones starts to pull the trigger, that's when it started its downturn. Ended up in a tough spot.
Aaron Nola is 34-24 as a Philly. It's his 78th major league start. Breaking ball. Well, he and Kevin Gausman had to be teammates at LSU because they were drafted 2 years apart. Kevin in 2012 by the Orioles, and then Nola 2 years later by the Phillies. There goes Beckham. Swing and a miss. The throw is high, and Beckham is out at second base. The tag by Hernandez. What a tag, and Beckham couldn't believe it. He thought he was safe.
Beckham, I think, had a pretty good jump.
Oh, I think he's safe.
See Hernandez kind of stepping up right there. And throw up the line a little bit. So cutting that distance down. And just grazing the back of that jersey.
That looked like he missed the tag. If they challenge this, they may have a chance to get the call. Beckham all the way back to the bench.
Take another look.
It looked like he missed him. If the Orioles are not going to challenge, I guess they don't feel there's enough that would get it overturned.
It's tough to tell whether or not he grazed that jersey or not.
And Buck holds on to the challenge. That is a bloop. That is trouble if it's fair, but it's foul. So the All-Star voting is ending. We encourage you to go to Orioles.com. Vote orange. Machado, the last we looked, was still in the lead for the shortstop starting position in the American League. And Manny certainly deserves it. He is playing very well, and he's been very consistent. So vote orange.
Absolutely. Getting close, too. Keep voting.
Ball and 2 strikes. And then he got him, blew a fastball by him. So it ended up being a 3-batter inning. Base hit, none left, mid-fifth, 1-0 O's. Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces, veterans, and their families for over 80 years, federally insured by NCUA. And by DynCorp International, we serve today for a better tomorrow. And happy 4th of July to our viewers, and a special thanks to our United States Armed Forces who protect and defend our great nation every single day. Trey Mancini in the patriotic road jersey. Number 10 with the stars. And in case you don't want to watch the game and you're young, you go rock climbing. Yeah, I guess that's wall climbing. It simulates rock climbing.
Yeah. Boy, that's great. Great activity for the kids.
And we haven't seen much of the Philly Fanatic. I guess it's too hot for him. There's a ground ball into the shift. Scope out there in right field will get Santana. And 1 pitch, 1 down. And Ramirez really pitching a fine game here. And the thing that is most impressive is his confidence, Mike, how he's pounding the strike zone and attacking these hitters.
Yeah, just incredible composure. Like he's been doing it for about 10 years. That's what I like to see, not getting too worked up.
Strike 1 to Nick Williams. Williams struck out his first at bat, one of 3 strikeouts for Jeffrey Ramirez. The Phillies are 46-37, and they have a chance to gain another game on Atlanta. Braves have already lost in New York to the Yankees 6-2. They say win on the appeal, 1 and 2. There's the updated standings in the NL East, so it could go to a game and a half if the Phillies win this one. Phillies do have a 1-0 lead. How about the Nationals, Mike?
Yeah.
Now a game below 500. They lost to Boston today.
Yeah, their offense kind of sputtering along as well, right? Bryce Harper. Average just keeps going down and down.
Well, the way the rest of that team is not really hitting consistently, would you pitch to Bryce?
No, absolutely
So
not.
I think what's happening is he gets frustrated and he's chasing pitches. Because we've only seen him a couple of times this year, but not sure what the delay was with Williams, but he sure did take his time to get back in the box. 2-2. Fastball he lays off. They appeal again. This time no swing. The Phils have won 3 in a row and 5 of 6. And they continue playing very well here at home. And there's a 1-out walk, so that's a good at bat as Nick Williams gets on with the tying run here in the 5th. Well, this is going to be fun. The Orioles welcome you and your best furry friend to Oriole Park. You can bark at Oriole Park ticket packages. They include the unique opportunity to bring your dog to one of 2 Orioles games, plus an Orioles-themed doggy bow tie, with a portion of the proceeds benefiting Barks or the Baltimore Humane Society. So get your pup coming out to the ballpark. For your tickets, Orioles.com/bark. Looks like Michael Gibbons already had his dog at the ballpark. He has certain access that some of us don't have.
Right. Probably bring it all the time. I'd be surprised they have their own little dog studio down there in the clubhouse.
The blue skies behind the grandstand, behind home plate, overcast over downtown. There's a bunt attempt, and it's in there for a strike as he pulled the bat back. Kingery is in an over 14 drought in just 7 for his last 33. And the rookie trying to adjust and learn how he's being pitched and react. Williams has only 2 steals on the year. He's 2 for 3. Cisco's already caught 1 here today.
That was an awesome throw by Cisco, by the way. He's had some problems throwing up here lately. Got off to a great start and then just hit a wall. A lot of it had to do with some of Kevin Gosman's miscues out there on the mound. I think there were like 5 stolen bases where Cisco just didn't even have a chance. But just some inconsistencies, but a beautiful throw.
There's a base hit. That one up in the zone. The first hit for the Phillies. Mancini running it down. It goes all the way to the corner. And being held at third base will be Williams. So there's a double for Scott Kingery. And the Phillies coming back on Ramirez here. Second and third, only 1 down.
Kingery finding a way to get it done, picking up his 16th double, and looked like he stayed on the changeup. This took it right down to the bottom of the strike zone. Pretty good approach right there. Whistling it down that line. You see Trey Mancini coming into the picture and getting right back into the infield. The Orioles get themselves in a good position to handle this. Manny Machado taking that cutoff throw.
With only 1 down, Dusty Wathan, the third base coach, took no chances. Even though Williams was flying to third base, he held him up. So Ramirez protecting a 1-0 lead. The Orioles will bring the infield up tight. Jorge Alfaro bounced out the scope his first at bat. Came off speed and had him out in front 0-1.
Nice pitch, little movement, working on that outer third and just pushing it away just enough. Late movement, keep it off the barrel. Alfaro looking like he was trying to do some ambushing right there. See the Oriole defense pulled in tight, cut down that run.
Now's it back, 0-2. Alfaro is 25 years old. He's had parts of 3 seasons and gets a lot of playing time here, although Andrew Knapp, because he's swinging the bat, getting a lot of playing time for the Phils behind the plate. So Ramirez ahead 0-2. Ground ball wide of first, and it gets past Davis in the right field. Here's one run to score. Around third is Kingery. He will score. Throw goes to second, and the Phillies get the lead on a ball that got under the glove of Chris Davis.
Wow. After that ball got in the outfield, Davis turned around like it hit something. Let's take a look. Pulled off that first base line. Maybe did kick back and stay down on him. Davis thinking that ball's going to come up. And boy, it eludes him. My goodness. 2 runs scoring there. And looks like they ought to be an error.
Yep, it's an E3. Credit 1 RBI to Alfaro. And the second scores as a result of the error. So the Phillies have the lead at 2-1. And here is Franco. Sharply hit the short. And he looks Alfaro back and guns it across to get Franco and 2 down. So holding at second, Jorge Alfaro. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by PNC. Make today the day. And by American Standard. Find your local independent American Standard heating and air dealer at midatlanticomfort.com. So here is the pitcher, Aaron Nola, with a runner at second and 2 down. We talked about this last night. The Phillies are one of the best teams in baseball in turning walks into runs. They now have 82 runs that are scored if the runner got on via a walk, including Williams here this inning. But if Davis makes that play, it's only 1 run in, not 2. But David Hess, who was scheduled to work behind Ramirez, he's now getting loose. And 2-1 on the pitcher. You do not want to allow Nola to reach to get the leadoff man up and turn the lineup over. There you go. He went right at him. 2-2. So the Phillies have just 1 hit, but now they have the lead. And he strikes him out, but the Phillies get the lead. And we head to the 6th. 2-1 Philadelphia.
Hey, happy 4th of July. Thank you to all the United States military for protecting and defending our country.
Look around the division. The Red Sox day game in Washington today. In fact, it was an 11:05 a.m. first pitch. And the Red Sox shut out the Nationals 3-0. Jackie Bradley had a sac fly and an RBI double. And Eduardo Rodriguez picked up the win with 6 shutout innings. So the Red Sox stay ahead of the Yankees. Yankees keep pace, beat the Braves 6-2. Giancarlo Stanton, a 3-run home run. Sabathia, another strong outing for New York. And the Marlins beat the Rays 3-0. Riddle had a big day at the plate, RBI triple and a home run. And Urena, 5 shutout innings in that game as the Marlins held off the Rays. So the Red Sox stay 1 game up on the Yankees in the division. And as we mentioned, Franco and the Phillies can gain a game on the Braves, with the Braves losing to the Yankees.
Well, the Orioles got to find a way to keep the pressure on Nola, though. 4 hits right now. Phillies, you said it, just the 1 hit, but found a way to push 2 across. Of course, the walk certainly never helps, but the Orioles having some good ABs against Nola. They'll string a couple hits together.
One thing we're learning in these National League ballparks, when the pitcher makes the final out, there is a big delay before the next half inning begins. As the pitcher goes back to the dugout, gets a drink of water, towels down, takes a breather, saunters out to the mound. And tomorrow night it's back to American League rules with a DH. Here's Mark Trumbo to lead off. Orioles now down by a run. Davis will follow, and then Scope. Last at bat, Trumbo saw nothing but breaking balls. I guess he was looking for one there. That was a pretty good looking fastball he let go by.
Yeah, good fastball, good movement. Everything seems to be moving pretty good for Nola. Some command problems with the breaking ball, but through so many of them, it seemed that last inning got the command back.
One and one. Aaron Nola made his big league debut July the 21st of 2015, the year after he was drafted by the Phillies. Seventh overall pick in that draft. Fouled straight down at the plate.
And like we were talking about earlier, the Phillies really believe that if you have talent, this is where you have to learn how to play Major League Baseball. At the Major League level, there just isn't enough in the minor leagues. A potential big league pitcher, you're not going to see the quality of hitters. So your stuff might be up, and you work your way through the minor leagues, and then you just kind of get shocked when you come up to the big leagues, where everybody can square up a baseball and catch up to a 98 mile an hour fastball.
Got under the breaking ball. Herrera was very deep. Here comes Williams, but Herrera calls him off. And he's got it for the out, 1 away here in the Orioles' 6th inning. Well, as you see, today the Orioles are wearing the special patriotic-themed jerseys and caps as we honor the 4th of July holiday. Go online at Orioles.com/auctions and you can bid on these autographed and authenticated game-worn jerseys and caps. All the proceeds will benefit the USO of Metropolitan Washington, Baltimore. Now, the bidding will close next Wednesday, July the 11th at 10 p.m., so don't miss out. Orioles.com/auction. There's Mark Trumbo's jersey being displayed there. Here's Chris Davis. Slaps a foul the other way, 0-1. Chris, a single in his first at bat. He struck out then in the 4th. He's had a tough time this year getting anything consistently going and then keeping it there.
We talked a little bit before the ball game, just about the Oriole offense, and of course it being scuffling along all the way around. But something else to look at here, the lefty comparison. Last season, the lefty numbers not too bad. You see that 236. And then you see this season where we're hitting 174. So the production really just not there. And I know the Orioles made a commitment to try to find some left-handed bats this year. Peterson, Rasmus, obviously, Davis having a tough year, Alvarez, Sardinas has been here. Every one of those hitters I just mentioned hitting under 200. Cisco, the only one that just snuck over for 200. So there's been some struggles there. In 2017, Seth Smith, remember the lefty, about 260. It was really him and Davis.
Swing and a miss at the breaking ball, Mike, and another strikeout.
Yeah, take a look at the movement right here, staying in the middle of the plate, but just too much bend there for Chris Davis to find the sweet spot.
So here is Scope. The Orioles have left 5 men on in this game. There's a base hit the other way, so he hit it against the shift. And Jonathan has a 2-hit game, and he's on with a 2-out single.
A lot of hits over there, Jonathan. Nice double that he had to reach out on a breaking ball. But this time, staying through, leading with the hands, and nobody on the right side of the field. A nice swing right there, and that'll help the confidence.
4 of the 5 the Orioles have left on base in this game were stranded in scoring position. But just like last night, they couldn't get that big hit with a chance to drive in a run. Ball 1 to Mancini. As Mike showed you earlier, Nola, as the situation intensifies, he gets better. That's a real good take. Wow. 2-0. You could see he was tempted, but he saw the spin and let it go by.
Yeah, nicely done. Borderline pitch. I don't think Nola's really liking the calls he's getting on that outside corner. Looked like that breaking ball probably just broke off. But some borderline pitches. And he's been so consistent with his misses that you'd think maybe one of them might be called.
There's an off-speed pitch for a strike. Nola goes 6'2", 195. 25 years old. And 3-1. Watching the Phillies and their shifts in the outfield in this series, and it's only a 2-game series, but their information against the Oriole hitters must be a lot different than other teams, because you rarely see this. I mean, look at the left field line. It's wide open.
I know. It really is. I don't know. I mean, I think defensive sabermetrics, boy, I think you just have to follow the tendencies of the hitter. And, boy, he must not have many hits down that left field line, if any, because they are just completely giving it to him. And you'd think they might be more balanced with the runner at first base, because if the ball's down the line, Jonathan Scope's going to score all the way from first base, no question.
And he's going to get a head start here, 3-2 with 2 down. Scope runs, and it's fouled off. A defensive swing, but he got a piece. Mancini with a prolonged at bat. Scope back to first. And this will be the 7th pitch to Mancini in this at bat. Scope goes, and a swing and a miss. He got him. So Mancini goes down on strikes, 2 Ks in the inning, and Nola now has 8 strikeouts for the game. Base hit, a man left. We head to the bottom of the 6th. The Phillies have the lead.
Jones gets the Orioles going, whistling a double into the gap to score Tim Beckham. And Ramirez getting an opportunity, second big league start, and he has been dealing. Then he had some problems in the 5th inning. A Kingery double after a walk put some pressure on. Then he counts on his defense, but it lets him down. Ball getting underneath Davis's glove. And 2 runs end up scoring. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Now Ramirez, pretty strong performance here. 5 innings pitched, just the 1 hit on the board, 1 earned run, and a couple walks here, 4 punch outs. I think Ramirez earned himself another opportunity, certainly to pitch for the Orioles. Pretty impressive job. Back-to-back outings now for Ramirez. 5 shutout against the Mariners in his last outing. David Hess now into the ball game. A little stumble here for Hess after a solid start to his opportunity to pitch at the big leagues. That earned run average nearing 6 right now. And Hess coming out of the bullpen, trying to put some zeros on the board. See the 10 home runs he's given up in his opportunities.
Cesar Hernandez will lead off. First ball swinging to the gap in left center field. Diving catch by Joey Rickard just in the game. Outstanding play by Rickard. And he takes an extra base hit away from Cesar Hernandez. Outstanding. Welcome back to the big leagues, Joey Rickard, just called up today.
Boy, everything had to be perfect on that play. Rickard getting a good first step and then a direct line. Take a look at this play. Full speed out into that left center field gap and leaves the feet to make the big first out. Adam Jones loving the leather being thrown around. David Hess likes it, that's for sure.
How about that? Just back and you're tested immediately. So Rickard came on in the double switch. Mancini made the final out, so he leaves. Hess goes into Mancini's spot and Rickard in the number 9 spot in the double switch. Hess last pitched on Friday, a losing effort against the Angels. Pop foul out of play. He's 0-3 and a no decision in his last 4 outings. And he's allowed 21 runs total, Mike, in those 4 games. 18 innings, 21 runs allowed in those 4 games. So he comes on in relief here. Fastball for a strike. 124 games to get to 100 RBIs. Here's a soft line drive right at Machado, and 2 men are down. Well, fans, the Orioles are proud to join Johns Hopkins, the University of Maryland, and other corporate leaders to support Baltimore City's Youth Works program, which seeks to provide as many as 12,000 Baltimore City youth with summer employment. To donate, visit BaltimoreCityFoundation.org and choose Mayor's Office of Employment Development Youth Works. And to learn more, visit youthworks.oedworks.com. Double Herrera. Ball one outside.
And David Hess just some problems with his fastball command. And, showed the 10 home runs he'd given up, and that's really been his problem. The bulk of his runs coming by way of the long ball.
He allowed 6 runs in 6 innings against the Angels last Friday night. Mike Trout took him deep for a solo home run. It's a fastball by Herrera. So this would have been his day to start, but instead it was Ramirez who gave the Orioles a good opportunity with 5 strong innings. But again, you look at the scoreboard, Mike, for the Orioles, just 1 run.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're having some pretty good at bats today. But tough to put a big inning together against Nola.
In the dirt. The Orioles have been held to 1 run or less in 22 games. 22 of the 84. That's a quarter of the games. 1 run or less. It's just amazing how long this has gone on.
Yeah. Some homers.
Herrera fights off the changeup there.
Oh, good change. A couple good fastballs up at the top of the zone. Nice job locating it down and away. See him trying to cut one of those fastballs in there underneath the hands.
Another foul ball that's going to find its way into the crowd. Fans happy. That's why you bring your glove to the game. Another foul ball. So Herrera about to see a 9th pitch in this at bat.
Oh, some tough pitches too. This steady diet of fastballs right across the top of the strike zone. He's finding a way to get the bat on him. Just ain't be going.
Ground ball to first. Davis back of the bag. He gloves it. And he goes to the bag, and that'll do it. Orioles baseball on MASN is brought to you by USAA. Insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. Trailing by a run, and welcome into our broadcast booth, and a happy 4th of July, everybody. And we send our thanks to all of the past and current members of the U.S. military for defending our freedoms here. And we certainly remember that even more so, Mike, on the 4th of July. The United States formed in 1776 on this day right here in this city.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you know what I like about it? All the families. I mean, I think that's one of the bonding things about the 4th of July. Obviously, you remember about Independence Day and the history of this great country, but it's families coming together and really appreciating that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
So the founding fathers, they formed the Declaration of Independence. It was authored mostly by Thomas Jefferson and signed by a representative of each of the 13 colonies. Here's Cisco. Joey Rickard is on deck, and then Tim Beckham. Nola still has a pretty good breaking ball. Cisco hit by a pitch the 11th time this year. And count evens 2-2. So another close game, and another game the Orioles find themselves down by a run. Arano, one of the 9 relievers out there, Victor Arano. And Cisco goes down on strikes. There's number 9 for Aaron Nolan, 1 away.
Yeah, nasty breaking ball right here. A couple fastballs up and out of the top of the zone just to change the eye level. And looks like that one's going to be heading to the top of the zone. And it just bites down and in. Real good breaking ball there, breaking right in front of the plate.
There's Joey Rickard, just back with the team today. And Buck Showalter puts him in a double switch in the first ball. He makes a diving catch in the gap. Oh, 1. Joey's last game with the Orioles was June the 20th. He was 8 for 26 in the 7 games with AAA Norfolk after he went down. As it back up this way, nearly out of souvenir. Warm day on the bench. Takes the high fastball, 1-2.
I'm impressed with Nola as well. Ramirez starting this game. We talked about his composure out there. And Nola, borderline calls, hasn't gotten wrapped up in the emotion out there, just doing the job, executing some pitches. Been pretty efficient. Pitching in the 7th. No trouble spots. First inning, 18.
Towards the middle, there's Kingery, the shortstop, plays the hop, and he gets the hustling Rickard. 2 men down here in the Orioles 7th. Fans, MLB At Bat is your #1 Orioles app. You can customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Customize your Orioles home screen icon, plus features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. And we use MLB At Bat every day. It is a wonderful app. So here is Tim Beckham. Been on base twice. There's a base hit. His bat is heating up, Mike. He's thinking to, and he puts on the brakes, and wisely so.
Some good swings going by Beckham, moving the ball around the field here. A little two-seamer working on the hands, and he turns and burns right there. And up over the head of Franco. And thinking about two coming out of the box as well. I'd like to see that. Now with the 2 outs, he'll try to get himself over there in the scoring position.
Adam Jones now will bat. He drove in the Orioles' run with the RBI double in the 3rd inning when Beckham got on with a 1-out walk. Tim 2 for 3 plus a walk. Another good slider. He sure does have the combination, Mike.
Yeah,
he's got
he
the
does.
curveball, he's got the slider, the changeup that you rarely see because the breaking pitches are so effective. And then he has pinpoint command of the fastball.
His ability to throw everything for strikes, on at 25 out of 29.
I mean, as hard as it is to win as a starter because of all that goes on, you look at what he's done. In his last 13 starts, which goes all the way back to April 21st, he's gone 9-1. And it's incredible. There's so much out of his control, and yet he still has 10 decisions in his last 13 starts, and 9 of them are winning decisions. Beckham dives back safely without a tag. Got through ball with Jonathan Scope on the bench. Upstairs with a fastball. 1-2 on Adam. Adam now at 106 consecutive at-bats without a home run. The last homer June the 2nd. So again, this would be a good spot for him to break that drought. It would give the Orioles the lead. Good hack. And foul ball.
Now a couple high fastballs. One of his patterns has been going to the top and then obviously dropping the breaking ball. Trying to get that apex to reach where that high fastball goes and then have that bite drop down that outside corner. Let's see if he tries to finish Adam Jones off with the hook.
Fans getting behind Nola. They want a strikeout to end the 7th inning. Very good defensive swing to foul it off.
That's how you protect with 2 strikes. Use everything you got. Adam Jones getting out in front, off balance, a nasty breaking ball, and just finding a way to prolong the AB. Got that breaking ball. Wow, what a finish. Adam actually jumping out and try to get a piece of it.
Upstairs, 2-2. Adam fouling pitches off, about to see a 7th pitch. Buck and the Birds down by a run. Machado on deck. 2-2 on Adam. And there's a base hit to right field. He hit it the other way, and it was softly hit, so Beckham will get to 3rd. He just poked it that way. So the Orioles have the corners covered here with 2 down.
Oh, what a great at bat right there. Get Manny Machado a shot. And Adam Jones fouling off some tough pitches, really staying in control. And then finally getting a pitch he can handle. The right side of the field opened up, and he stays inside that one. Not hit hard, but finding some outfield grass and pushing Beckham over to 3rd.
So Gabe Kapler is out. Looks like a pitching change coming. He has not yet made the signal.
I don't think he's going to take him out.
Well, he's going to let him stay in. So Kapler lets Nola keep the baseball, protecting a 1-run lead, exactly at 100 pitches. And here's Manny Machado with a chance to get the Orioles even or more. Manny has hits in 6 straight games. He is hitless today. He does have a walk. Slider outside, doesn't chase, 1-0.
I feel like he's going to be real careful here with Manny Machado. Walked him in his first at bat. See Manny's tendencies, and the Phillies defense shifted over accordingly.
Popped up foul back this way. 1-1 on Machado. Brock now getting loose in the event the Orioles can get this game even. And Diaz behind him. The runners at first and third with 2 down. This is a 2 outs, nobody on rally. Popped up, that's a bloop. That ball is trouble. Hernandez is back on it, and he makes a basket catch to save a run. Outstanding play by Cesar Hernandez, and Nick Williams able to avoid a collision. What a play by Hernandez.
Take a look here, another fastball running hard in on the hands, another broken bat, and a beautiful play. Great concentration by Hernandez, know where the right fielder is, and a basket catch over the shoulder.
7th inning stretch here in Philadelphia, 2-1 Phils.
all military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Well, the POW-MIA chair, which is dedicated here at Citizens Bank Park, it's a reminder of the more than 92,000 American soldiers who are still unaccounted for, going back to World War I. Dedicated, as you see, in 2015, and there's the chair, and some people do stop by and reflect on that. And the POW-MIA flag continues to fly at ballparks all across the United States. And special memories on this day, Mike, on the 4th of July, and prior to the game, so many heroes. There's the 100-year-old veteran from World War II, and enjoying the applause that he received. The Phillies did an outstanding job honoring the military before the game.
They sure did. Well done.
They had active military members escorting members from the past, and as you saw, going all the way back to World War II. So this 4th of July is about our independence, but without the military, who knows?
Yeah.
Because they protect our freedom day in and day out all over the world. Fans are certainly enjoying a real good game here as well. 2-1 game as we head to the bottom of the 7th. So Nola allowed to stay in, and he got out of it because of the fine running catch by Cesar Hernandez.
And the Phillies still with just the one hit on the board.
Strike one to Carlos Santana as David Hess stays on. Hess's spot is due 4th in the 8th inning. Check swing, and there's a strike. Real good off-speed pitch at 71 miles an hour.
Yeah, beautiful pitch there. Stealing the strike, really slowing him down.
David Hess on in relief of Jeffrey Ramirez, who went 5 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 unearned for Jeffrey. Popped up foul, another off-speed pitch he was fooled by. The Phillies have 46 wins, and in 25 of their wins they had to come from behind, as they did here today. In Kapler's club, they have that ability. Of course, with the starting pitching that they've been getting, it gives the hitters more opportunities because the pitchers keep you in the game.
Yeah, keep putting zeros on the board, right? It's really been their rotation that kept them up. Their offense has been inconsistent. Defensively, they're not as sound as they'd like to be. They've got a couple young guns that are dealing right now. I'm watching one of them today.
Patriotic Philly fanatic. And there's a leadoff walk, and as usual, Carlos Santana, 2 walks in the game, and he's on leading off here in the 7th. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Ocean City. There's no end to the fun you'll have in Ocean City. Plan your trip today at ococean.com. I suddenly have a craving for French fries.
Man, I hope they don't run out of ketchup. Don't like that leadoff walk.
There's a 1-out walk that got the rally going in the 5th, as Williams fouls it off the other way. Fanatic cheering on the fans. Nothing and 2 on Nick Williams with Santana on at first in this 2-1 game. There is nobody getting loose in the Phillies bullpen, so might Nola go after the 8th inning.
It's over 100 pitches.
Fly ball deep left center field. Adam Jones on the run. Out there at the bullpen, and that ball is gone. Into center field for a home run. And that is a 2-run shot, and just like that, it's a 4-1 game.
Good swing right there from Williams. Take a look at the breaking ball here from Hess. Just hovering belt high in the middle of the plate, and he is waiting on it. A little tardy on a couple fastballs, but right on time with the big breaking ball. Head into his own bullpen.
So the Ford drive of the game. Hurry to your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs. And there's another home run allowed by David Hess. Kingery takes ball 1. The 11th home run allowed by Hess. So there have been 3 walks in this game issued by Orioles pitching, and 2 of the 3 have scored. And in each time it was a walk ahead of a hit that got a rally going.
See the numbers there. 102 off the bat, 409.
3-0. Kingery doubled in the rally in the 5th inning, and he scored the go-ahead run ahead of Nick Williams. It back, so the count goes full 3-2.
Good fastball there and a 3-1 count. Cut fastball moving across the plate. Getting it off the barrel. Come up with a good pitch here.
And he got him. Real good changeup.
Nice job. Nice recovery. Bounce back pitch after the 2-run shot. Finishing him off with the breaking ball down at the bottom of the zone. A couple good fastballs to get back into the count, and then finishing him off with a little breaking ball.
Mike Wright begins to get loose. One down. Here's Jorge Alfaro, the catcher. He reached on a big error by Chris Davis. 2 runs scored on the play on a bouncer that got past Davis down the right field line. He was credited with 1 RBI, and the other scored on the error. He swings at a pitch that bounced in the other batter's box.
Not picking up the breaking ball at all. A couple wild swings here for the first 2 strikes. Might as well try it again.
There's Victor Arano up for a 2nd time. Very warm day, so not difficult for the relievers to get loose. And it's a tough play if it stays fair, and Hess over quickly to make sure it stays foul. He is a real good athlete. He fields his position well. Tanner Scott joining Mike Wright. Well, 0-2 the count on Alfaro. And he got him another real good off-speed pitch.
Now, all breaking balls that AB, and finished him off with the slow hook. Take a look. Middle of the plate. 12-6 break, getting on top. Good breaking balls. We'll take a look at Hess's delivery. Down. Falling off hard to that first base side, though.
Two down for Franco, and he'll take ball one. Fly ball to right. That ball's hit well. Trumbo's back on it, and that ball's off the wall. Trumbo plays the count perfectly, and he holds Franco to a single. I was watching the ball. I'm not sure if Franco went into his home run trot, but that is a long single.
Yeah, I would guess that he was thinking that that was going to be in the seats. He smoked that ball to right field. And all over the Hess fastball. See it off the fence right there, off the top.
Yeah, that young fan trying for a souvenir, but he missed it. So that is a very long single. Aaron Altair will pinch hit for Nola, so his day is done. 7 innings, 1 run allowed, and he now exits on the plus end of a 4-1 game. So here's Altair pinch hitting. Upstairs, 1-0. Well placed fastball, 1-1. Altair is an often used pinch hitter. This is his 17th pitch in at bat. Has it back. Nice grab by a young fan. Again, bring your glove.
Yeah, great play.
He gets congratulations from the fanatic.
He took the ball.
When the fanatic is in the stands, I think the fans pay more attention to him than they do the game. He puts on quite a show. Upstairs, 3-2. Another prolonged at bat. This will be the 7th pitch that Hess will deliver to Altair. And with a 3-2 count, Franco gets a head start at first. Strike 3 called. He hit the inside corner with a fastball. So Hess gets out of it, but the 2-run home run by Nick Williams adds the lead through 7. It's now 4-1 Phillies advantage.
pitcher, and he's on a nice roll, scattering the 7 hits, but only 1 run able to cross the plate for the Orioles. Couple walks, 9 punch-outs for Nola, and he's going to give way to the bullpen. A quick pitching change, just like a Jiffy Lube signature oil change. In and out fast, and you never need an appointment. Let's take a look here at Victor Arano's numbers. 28th game out of the Phillies bullpen. Picked up a win with a 2.48 earned run average. He's got 30 punch-outs in 29 innings of work, and only the 8 walks on the board. Opponents hitting just the 218. And righties only 213. The lefties 224, and only 1 home run given up.
So he has a 3-run lead to protect. He is a rookie. He did get into 10 games last year, but he still has the rookie status. 39 2/3 career innings, and as Mike mentioned, just the 1 home run. Here's Trumbo. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Trumbo is 0 for 3. Foul tip, 0-2.
Took that one right off the top of the foot. Trumbo seeing a steady diet of breaking balls this afternoon. Another good slider right here. Take a look. Oh, ball. Ooh. Open that right leg up a little bit and exposes the front side of the foot. It took the brunt of it.
Somebody on the bench must be teasing him because he kept looking over there smiling. Come on, man up. Easy for someone on the bench to say.
Yeah.
Didn't hit his foot. 0-2 on Trumbo. Showalter with John Russell, his lieutenant on the bench. Arano is a very good command pitcher. He's only walked 5 batters unintentionally going back to last September 25th.
Pretty good fastball there too. 95, 96 miles an hour.
And Zach Britton getting loose. Pitcher spot is due 4th this inning. That may come on for an inning of work anyway. And 2-2 on Trumbo. Bounces in there, ball 3. Here's a chopper. Kingery at short, waits on the hop. And he throws out Trumbo. And one away here in the Oriole 8th. Well, we hope you can join us tomorrow night. Orioles head out to Minneapolis following the game. A 4-game series against the Twins begins tomorrow. Andrew Cashner will be on the mound against Aaron Sluggers. Our coverage on MASN 2 begins at 7:30 with those extra presented by Ford. And then game coverage at 8 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN. Chris Davis now.
These Twins having a hard time lately, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They already lost today, I believe, in Milwaukee. Oh, that game's still going on. They trail 3-1 in the 9th. It wasn't that long ago that there was a lot of speculation. Well, who might they add for a possible run? And now they have Buxton back in the minor leagues, and Miguel Sano is back in the minor leagues.
It's not easy to keep that consistency at the major league level. Teams making the adjustments and the technology now. You talk about the shifts and the just awareness of what players can do, what they can hit, what they can't hit, specific defenses. Just have to have the ability to make some adjustments. And I think you're seeing the game's kind of making a change right now, and some managers are pretty aggressive in the fact of sending players down to try to get them retooled, but just need better hitters at the major league level, not just guys up there swinging and the inability to make adjustments. And some teams are really starting to be more aggressive as far as sending a message. You need to be more consistent.
1-2 on Davis. And he got him. Davis has struck out 3 times today, and 2 down.
And the high fastball, there is a hole up there on Davis only because of the little bat head drop. Take a look at the backside, kind of collapse right there. And trying to catch it out in front, but anything up over 90 miles an hour, tough to get that bat head back on top.
So Victor Arano gets his first 2 men. Now Jonathan Scope.
Jonathan just made a nice play on himself.
Well, he does have quick hands.
Yeah, I'll say. Couple good swings though today from Jonathan Scope. Certainly going to help the confidence. Nice to see that batting average jump back over 200.
Nothing in 2. Well, I guess, Mike, what you're talking about with hitters and looking for consistency, it seems to me that more consistent contact is where it should begin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you think about it, if you don't make contact, you can't put the ball in play. And if you don't put the ball in play, nothing good can happen. You know, free swinging teams, you may run into one. But the Orioles, even with their veteran home run hitters, and we talked about it last night, I mean, this is a team that has hit 3 3-run homers all year. So you think about playing for the big inning, which that would help you do, but men on base and then the long ball. And unfortunately, when you face good teams that have good pitching, they can neutralize your strength.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're not really a contact type team, you better have a good eye and the ability to draw some walks. Just have that on base percentage up over 350. But not many Oriole hitters have that high on base percentage. The ability to take the walk.
Got a piece to stay alive. See, and I guess you know, player development is such an inexact science anyway, but if you think about each hitting coach at the minor league level and then the roving hitting instructor, it can't be a blanket. It has to be an individual and what that hitting coach sees with that player.
Oh, absolutely.
And he got him. Off speed pitch off the plate. 3 up, 3 down go the O's in the 8th. Phillies come to bat with a 4-1 lead.
taken out of the ball game. His replacement, Joey Rickard, and what a play he makes, flagging one down, helping David Hess out. Beautiful first step, and then an excellent diving effort, filling up that left center field gap. Jones likes the defensive play there. Joey Rickard trying to put his uniform back together.
And he had the glove on the correct hand as a lefty. Of course, he bats righty, very unique. Zach Britton comes on to get an inning of work in.
Yeah, he needs to kind of freshen up a little bit. Some tough outings here. Still trying to knock the rust off that 6.23 earned run average for Britton. He tries to get that, or wants to get that fastball velocity up to 97, 98. Still getting some pretty good movement. It's just about the execution, keeping that sinker down around the knees. And if it's down there, everybody's going to hit ground balls. Zach Britton trying to get that ground ball rate back up to around 80. It has been bulk of his time as the Orioles closer.
Cesar Hernandez will lead off. He'll bat right-handed. Hoskins and Herrera will follow. A lot of scouts looking at Britton. A little bit low. You know, in fairness to Zach, he's allowed 6 runs since being activated, but they came in 2 appearances. And in Atlanta in that Friday night game that eventually went 15 innings. He allowed 4 earned runs and he only got 1 out. So that inflates your ERA. And the other 2 runs he allowed in his blown save against Seattle last Wednesday. And he's had 7 scoreless in his 9 appearances. Here's a strike at 94.
Yeah, command a little bit off though for Britton. He's got 8 walks right now and his 9 appearances.
Well, there are a lot of teams that would be interested in adding Zach Britton, but he probably will be closer to the deadline deal because the teams will want to see exactly what they're getting after, as you say, he knocks the rust off. There's a strike at the knees, so 3-2. There's a chopper to third. Perfectly played by Tim Beckham. And 1 down here in the 8th inning. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Downtown Philadelphia. Back inside Citizens Bank Park. They have a wonderful sports complex here, as we do in Baltimore, with the baseball stadium and the football stadium side by side. There's the skyline downtown out beyond center field. They also have NBA and hockey here, so that arena is also on this complex. Ball 1 to Rhys Hoskins. One of the advantages they have here at this complex is all the parking. A lot of parking lots out here. Ball 2. Zach hasn't worked since Saturday. There's Morgan getting loose in the bullpen. Adam Morgan, one of the 2 left-handers. 2 of the 9 relievers. Phillies will enjoy a night off tonight at home because they're off tomorrow, so they won't travel to Pittsburgh probably until tomorrow night. It's a short flight across the state. Dave Kapler's team about to embark on a road trip up to the All-Star break. They play in Pittsburgh Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then they go to New York to play the Mets Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then they stop in Baltimore next Thursday for the makeup game. Then they get back on their plane and go to Miami for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 10 games beginning on Friday without a day off after their day off tomorrow. Check swing at a breaking ball. They appeal. He didn't go. So that one in the dirt. Phillies 29 wins here at home. That is more than any team in their home ballpark in the National League. So they are following the script where you rake at home and hold your own on the road. And if you do that, you'll contend. Ground ball to third. There's Beckham. Ooh, tough in between hop. And he gets his man and 2 down.
Nice job. Nice job by both Beckham and Britton. I like the fact that Britton able to come back on both hitters and be aggressive in the strike zone. And you know, every infielder is ready when Britton's on the bump.
Odubel Herrera is hitless. He's 0 for 3 today, 0 for his last 10, and just 2 for his last 36. And this is a player that about a month ago they couldn't get out. He homered in 5 straight games, June 17th through the 22nd, to tie the Phillies club record. Britton blows it by him at 95.
Amazing how hitting confidence comes and goes, isn't it? Guys, you watch him hit and think, wow, he's going to hit 350 all season long, just in a great position. And a number of players got off to incredibly hot starts. He's one of them. How about down in D.C. with Harper? He started the season off, it looked like he was going to hit 60 home runs. I mean, he looked as good as he ever has. And now he's just incredibly cold. And same way with Herrera. Sometimes it's hard too when you do end up getting on a roll. You get into that so-called zone where you're seeing the ball so well. Human nature, try to do just a little bit more. And sometimes it's that gets you in trouble.
Now this is another one.
More, I mean, like trying to hit home runs. You know, you pop one out, maybe get a base hit, and then pop another one out, and you start thinking, okay, I'm a home run hitter. Your swing starts to change, and then when you get into a little 0 for 10 funk with about 8 pop-ups, you try to get it back. It takes a while to recover.
Well, there is weather in the area. There's clouds looking more and more ominous. Swing and a miss there, 2-2. Ooh, that doesn't look nice. And Herrera, as usual, having a prolonged at-bat. He has some ability to foul off pitches.
Yeah, tough breaking ball right there. I don't know how you can hit anything other than the Britton fastball. It's such a nasty pitch. He's talking about his velocity being down a little bit, but he's still flipping it in there 95, 96 miles an hour.
Two is swept to scope. Jonathan has it. And Britton has a 3-up, 3-down 8th on 3 ground ball outs. We head to the 9th. Last chance for the O's, down 4-1. Is brought to you by Southwest. Low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And there's the weather heading this way. Up beyond the left field grandstand. Orioles down by 3, have 3 more outs to work with. Danny Valencia will lead off. He's pinch hitting for Zach Britton. We have 3 ground ball outs.
And that was good to see.
Yeah. Rano retired the side in order in the 8th, so he stays on for the 9th. And he misses low. So he can earn a save if he completes the inning. With Gabe Kapler, you never know, because he makes every decision based on analytics and numbers. And with Cisco on deck, there is a lefty getting loose in the bullpen. Danny is 0 for his last 11, and his at-bats have been reduced since Beckham came back. And there's Morgan, Adam Morgan, the lefty. Now 3-1 on Valencia, is trying to get on leading off here in the 9th. Right center field. Williams is there, and he's got it. 1 down. Sounded good off the bat, that didn't travel.
Valencia gets some good sound effects off his bat. I don't know if it's the type of wood it is, but every one of them just crack. Sounds like it's coming off about 120.
Rano gets the first out, so he'll stay on to face Cisco, with Rickard, a right-handed batter, on deck. With Colby Rasmus going on the restricted list, I guess to retire, he went home. The Orioles have only 3 left-handed batters active. Cisco, who's at the plate, Jace Peterson, who's the one lefty on the bench today, and Chris Davis. It is a right-hand heavy lineup, and unless they make a move tomorrow, because they're carrying the 8th man in the bullpen, it'll be a 3-man bench in Minnesota. You know, and you see all the speculation, and Rakabako, our colleague, even talked about it today in his blog about what's going on, answering the fans' questions. When is Cedric Mullins going to get here? Well, in order for Mullins to get here, something has to be done, because if you're going to bring him up, he's got to play. Swing and a miss, he got him. Struck out number 3 for Rano, and 2 down.
Taking that fastball right up to the top of the zone. The pitch of 2018, high fastball, and Cisco swinging through.
Ricker takes a breaking ball for a strike. He rounded out in the 7th inning his first at bat. He took over defensively in a double switch for Mancini. 1-2. Fans coming alive. 30,943 on hand for this one. great sight. Let Mom get that photo. Look at the smile. That's great. Reacting to the crowd. Just outside. That's a good take. 2-2. Ball 3.
Close pitch. I don't know if how far I helped him out much right there. That frame attempt. He yanked it up about 2 feet. Umpire probably said, "Are you kidding me?" Gonna give it that one.
So from 0-2 to 3-2 on Rickard. Outside, ball 4, and he draws a 2-out walk. They appeal. He didn't swing. That's a heck of an at-bat for Joey Rickard.
And some borderline pitches on that outside corner. Let's start holding up there on the check swing.
So that'll turn the lineup over. Orioles need Beckham to get on to get Jones up there representing the tying run. Trailing 4-1 here in the 9th. Tim has had a good day. There's Adam getting on deck. Beckham 2 hits plus a walk. Strike 1. Strike 2. Toronto's going to wear these fans out. There's a tapper back to the mound. Arano has it. And he gets Beckham at first, and that'll do it. So the Phillies sweep this 2-game series as they won it last night 3-2, and they win today by a final of 4-1. Orioles get the 2-out walk, but Beckham the comebacker, and that does it here. So the Orioles now head to Minnesota, looking to turn around things. Birds have now lost 9 of their last 10 games and 20 of their last 25. Final score here in Philadelphia: the Phillies 4 and the Orioles 1.